As an evangelical who loves Catholics, I love that you're doing it. But let me just edit what you say.
Here's the
no,
but.
No, it's a big one. You didn't catch it, Michael. Yeah. Is that your goal should be to bring people to Jesus, not Catholicism?
Oh, hold on.
No.
What's the difference? I don't think.
What's the?
Hold on. Hold on.
I'm not saying that they're contradictory, but your goal should not to be to bring people to a specific sect of Christianity. It is to bring people to the cross.
You're saying to bring people to the fullness of the truth and the universal
faith. Yes, but not the maxims of every Catholic dogma. No, I mean, for example, am I a Christian if I don't believe in Mariology?
Well, we're talking about the fullness of the truth. We're talking about.
Okay.
But you still.
Am I a Christian if I don't believe in transubstantiation?
You are a little confused if you don't.
Okay.
But you can have sincere.
No,
faith.
it's fine. I think that bringing people to Catholicism is fine. Of course, great, terrific, but that is hopefully a means to the ultimate end. You exist to bring to people to Christ.
Of course.
But that is the goal. I'm just maybe being semantically,
But think about this question: what happens when you want to bring people to our Lord? And what happens when there are disagreements over important things? I mean,
we schism and say you guys got it wrong, or we do a reformation.
But so we're at.
And I can tell you, I'm super blessed. I have the best wife in the world. We have an amazing life. Building a family is the coolest thing ever. And my prayer for all of you is that you one day can do that.
That's so cute.
It's honestly the most joyful thing. And I've had some pretty amazing experiences. I've been very, very blessed. Very lucky, you could say, but very blessed is the word I would use. And the greatest joy I've ever had is coming home to my little daughter running up to my leg. There's nothing that even comes close to it. Not flying on Air Force One, not meeting with presidents. That's all that pales in comparison to your little girl coming up and squeezing your leg.
We don't know any of the full details of this. We don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, so we have no idea about this. But following up with what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place.
Charlie Kirk is a divisive figure, polarizing, lightning rod, whatever term you want to use.
Well, he's one of MAGA's most prominent voices online. He hosts a near daily podcast. He opines on almost everything. He's been very closely aligned with the president since his initial run for office in 2015, 2016, and his ties to Trump really elevated his own brand.
Charlie Kirk is a close ally of President Trump's. Not only that, he is somebody who helped him get elected this cycle. He's also a controversial figure at times. He goes into these various college campuses, pushes conservative issues, gets into heated back and forth often with these students on these college campuses. But of course, none of that is violent. This is the first time we've seen this kind of reaction, obviously.
After one of the Doge employees was allegedly attacked in Washington, D.C., that's what Donald Trump used as justification to send in federal troops into Washington, D.C. to get things under control. And I know it's hard to predict the future, Mark, but you can imagine the administration using this as a justification for something. Again, no permit is required or needed to buy or possess a firearm. There's no waiting period, no state-mandated time period for firearm purchases. Utah does not require the registration of firearms, so it is a very permissive state in terms of firearms. Most firearm types are allowed under state law, but again, federal laws ban certain firearms. On average, 442 people die by guns in Utah.
I mean, yeah, it's scary for anybody that has any sort of voice at all in the country, and wherever you go out, and with the ability for people to, and especially I'm in Texas, you can legally carry guns, into most places in Texas. We're the only country that this is going on in this way. And we have this awful toxic stew of
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Are they a threat to democracy? Yes. Are they going to take our rights away? Yes. Are they going to put people's lives in danger? Yes. Are they going to endanger the planet by not dealing with climate change? Yes.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
She's a genuine danger to American security.
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
We have to preserve our democracy, or speak out against lies and hate.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Have a consistent narrative about how dangerous Trump is.
President Biden has been clear-eyed about the threat that the former president represents to our democracy.
Donald Trump is an existential threat to our democracy and our most fundamental freedoms.
Kamala needs to stop saying that President Trump is a threat to democracy. It's now being received by some unhinged people as a call to action. Enough is enough.
Sorry, I'm just trying to pull myself together here. The reason I show those videos at the beginning is because now I'm going to show some more photos and stuff. But this is who Charlie was. He was a fellow patriot, Christian, and kind of like a bigger brother to most people, most young people. He's affected everybody. And when I mean everybody, and I'm gonna get rolling here. Not just America, not just people here. I have a couple screenshots of the entire world. And I don't think people give that enough weight. You say world, I think people get fluffy-duffy with it. So I'm going to say planet. The entire planet of good humans is sad. There are memorials and vigils of him in Japan, South Korea, in Spain, in Italy, in Poland, in the UK, in Ireland, the US, Canada. I mean, almost every good, wholesome country you can think of is mourning Charlie Kirk's assassination. They shot me. They shot me. If we line up who Charlie was and who I am, there are a lot of similarities. White. Christian. Conservative leaning, Republican. I'll raise my hand. Wants to be a good, wholesome man. He clearly was. Wants to raise a young family, or a family in general. He was on the great, glorious path to do that, and I'm trying. For gosh sakes, we're the same height. We're almost the same height. I'm 6'6" and he was 6'5". I try to reach my hand across the table to have an honest conversation at all the different workplaces I've gone to. He did on a massive worldwide planet scale of conversation. And I think that's what you'll see in some of these photos and memes. And then you'll see the dark side. And that's kind of why I showed that Trump Joker video. It's because they did this. They fueled young people with hate. They fueled them, making them think everybody and anybody that had a different opinion and something different to say than them, a Nazi, and that they need to get shot, and that they deserve to die because they thought differently than you. This is how a lot of Americans are feeling right now. And this is how a lot of people around the world are feeling right now. Because they're tired. They are tired of reaching their hand out to try to understand, to try to shake their hand metaphorically and physically. They are tired. And I think you just severed that hand. I think you just severed that chance, truthfully and honestly. There's one in here that I saved. Hang on, let me find it. There are people all over the internet that are like, this is the time to come together. This is the time to be loving to each other, to bridge the gap, to mend the bond. That's what I'm hearing. I'm hearing people saying we need to have peaceful, polite, rational dialogues. You killed the guy that was fucking doing that. You killed the guy that from 18, instead of playing video games, instead of going to football games, I mean, he probably did, but instead of doing that stuff, he was cold calling organizations in his parents' garage at 18. What was I doing? I was playing Grand Theft Auto 5, blowing off some steam from finishing up high school and potentially going to college. He was making Turning Point USA, which is going to be a resounding thing that's going to be going through this whole video. We'll see how long it goes. I'm 31, just like he was. So as I said, on September 9th, check to make sure I have the date right, pretty sure. On September 9th, I got out of my math test at college, because I'm going to college at MSU. And felt pretty good. And then I went down to, like, there's a big, beautiful brick, like, walkway with one of the buildings with the bell tower in it. And usually people are like, if you want to join a club or something between classes, some people, different organizations will, like, put tables out in there. Today, on September 9th, the Students for Life organization was there, and Kristen Hawkins, I think is her name. I'll throw it up later and put a few edits. And she was talking about abortion and how she was against it. And I said, okay, I have similar values as that. Stood around, kind of put my ear to the group. There was like probably almost 100 students. My age, probably, obviously much younger. All standing around. And they had the tent and the guy, and they had a microphone, and she was letting people come up and ask questions, kind of like what Charlie did. And so I was like, cool, kind of listening. It wasn't like a megaphone that was speaking out, because they probably didn't want people to, like, get on a pedestal and start yelling into the speakers to magnify their voice, but it was being recorded. And then, so I'm just walking around, and I see a table over on the left side, and there's some people, and there's like a banner in front of it, but I can't see it because of all the people. And I go around, and as I'm coming around like the big crowd of people, there's a table with signs and posters. What table does that happen to be with? What organization do you think they were with? It was Turning Point USA, and they were talking about Charlie's American comeback tour, and that he was coming to MSU October. And he was currently somewhere else. I don't know if he was at Utah yet. I don't know if they had got to Utah later. And so, chatted with the lady. Her name's Hannah. She's part of the Turning Point USA chapter, kind of in that area. And if you could get a sticker or something if you sign up to get tickets. And the tickets were like free for like students and stuff, which was super cool. So I did it. I was like, I'll go. I've never been to one. See what they're about. I've seen Charlie, TikTok type, Instagram, YouTube interviews, talking about his faith, talking about trying to get back to the American values we've had in the past, trying to get the good ones. And then I got a sticker, and it was like, "Make America Healthy." And it's got like strawberries on it. I was like, that's cool. Because I figured if a classmate saw me at that group and were like, decided to ask me what I thought about abortion, or if there was any sticker that I would put on like my math binder or whatever binder, I could defend confidently a sticker that says "Make America Healthy." Something that I'm like very passionate about, with like trying to work out and get in better shape. And so that was it. And so that was cool. And they did their thing, and I was like, cool, he's coming in October. I'm going to set that date aside and get ready for that. And I was still kind of sad from Irna. God bless, I hope I pronounce her name right. IRNA. And I'm not showing any of these. There's some, I think, the screenshots that I've saved, but I'm not showing any of the atrocities of humankind on here. I'm sure you've seen it. I actually... I ask you to watch it once. Because it'll never go away. And if it doesn't burn you to your core, to your soul, both videos, then there's very little humanity left in you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And we're already pretty deep into this. I might say some things that might not perfectly align with Christianity. And that's not... I'm not vouching for Charlie necessarily in that stance. This is me, but I'm going to try to be as graceful as possible. A few days prior, IRNA had gotten stabbed in the throat by a horrendous evil man just because of who she was. There are rumors of like the deep video, like cranking the volume up, that said something to the effect of, yeah, I got that white girl. That's what the killer of IRNA said. Irina? And in that video, she has enough time to realize that her life is over. And she doesn't know why. And all she gets to do is cry into her hands and slump over and die. And further security camera footage shows on that train or on that bus that no one got up to help her. Until the very end, there's a gentleman that they're trying to identify that actually genuinely gave a shit. So that was still in the back of my mind. Yes, it wasn't as hard-hitting as we'll find out Charlie's. So I went to class, did my class thing, and September 11th, or September 10th, I'm sorry, rolls around. And I think it was math. Because the 10th was a Wednesday. Yep. The 10th was a Wednesday. And for Wednesdays after math, I think my next class is not till the afternoon, I think. Yeah. Sorry. We'll get there. Yeah. After math, my last class is in the afternoon. So, there's a Veterans Hall at MSU. I go there to hang out. Nothing new. Do that all the time. They have snacks in there for us fellow service members to hang out. Peace and quiet. We could say the F word in peace, kind of a thing. And one of the guys there, one of the young men, announces what's happened. Charlie Kirk has been shot. He's been shot. And the first video we had was the far away one, where it was a guy like in the stands, like doing a panoramic type view, and then he had zoomed in. Which is still nuts that at that very moment, whether it was God wanting us to start the footage or what, I know he was it's going to be a big deal forever. But it was odd that it was just that moment that he happened to be zooming in, and you get the shot. So with that shot, you couldn't tell. I mean, it was bad, and he fell. It wasn't like when Mr. Trump got shot in the ear, and like he was able to, like, obviously he was still moving around for a brief second or two. That one was like rough, but it wasn't concrete enough for me. It should have been. Because then, I want to say 30 minutes went by. So my mindset's still like, he's going to pull through. They're going to dogpile him. There's veterans there. They're going to be able to... I remember Kentucky Ballistics, for instance, a gun guy that was shooting a 50 cal rifle, just testing it, and the gun exploded. And he got shrapnel in his neck. I think it like hit him here and here and here. And he was like able to save himself because him and his dad were able to like plug up. He literally stuck his thumb inside his neck to block the bleeding. And so I thought that was it. So like 30 minutes goes by and I go to the bathroom. And I knew the videos were going to cycle. And I knew stuff was going to get around. And then the second video comes through. The close-up. The close-up comes through. And that one was it. That one was it. I remember sitting in that stall. I don't know if I'll ever forget. I mean, it might be just because it's raw right now, but if I'm blessed to live till I'm 60, 70, 80, I don't know if I'm going to forget that. I don't. I saw that shot, that clip, that video, and my heart dropped. My stomach went into the pits of my soul. And then I remember hour or two goes by, and I have to go to my writing class and just trying to hold it together. And I did okay the first day. But I couldn't sleep. And apparently nobody across the nation can sleep either. Which knows how powerful Charlie's voice and his soul was. And then to wrap up my speech here in a second, and then just go to the pictures. Because the pictures are going to go up and down in emotion. And I'll briefly talk with those, obviously, but the last thing that led me to this was it just happened to be the very next day, September 11th, which is when our country was attacked by vile people as well. And my math teacher, she's beautiful. Her soul is kind, and she's a mom. She said, if you need to talk to somebody, go to the counseling thing. She's like, I can do it as well. And she was very forthcoming with, she cares about us, like birthdays and stuff like that. And we just started the semester, so it'll flesh out more. And so for the first time in my life, I actually went to therapy. I met a wonderful soul named Scott. And I cried. I started talking about it, describing it all. And I cried in his office, in his counseling office. I didn't know this level of mind control and hate existed. I mean, I thought about it every once in a while, but I didn't know it existed to this extent. Like part of me knew that like a president and like Trump would get shot at in a sense. Like, he's such a big icon, and then he can also affect so much, and he's a president or a former president, then to become president, that I knew that something would happen to him. I didn't know that they would do it to Charlie. So these are in no particular order. Because some of these are how I think a lot of Americans feel. And then some of these are like what Americans feel is what's happened and how this came to be, like some of the first ones. And so I'm just going to start going through them. So this one I remember is from this lady that she said that a friend of hers didn't even know Charlie. You can read it. These are different figures in our history. And I think he's going to go up there with them as far as at their same level. I truly believe that. I truly believe he's going to be at this gentleman's level and this level and this level. If not more. I'm sorry, if not more. Charlie Kirk wasn't killed because of what he had to say. He was killed because the young were listening to him. He was. They were. He was connecting with people. I truly believe this. Stop it at its source. And again, that's probably not the Christian way. I don't care. I don't. This gentleman, Neves Gaming, beautiful. It's not even that controversial. If you shoot someone you disagree with politically, you've lost the intellectual argument and done nothing but to harm your cause. This is America, a battleground of ideas, not an actual battlefield, you morons. Like I said, this is going to go back and forth. I am not calling for violence. Most of the people that I follow on social media as big icons, they're not calling for it. But they're not going to be surprised if it happens. They're not. You killed the guy that never cursed. You killed the guy that never attacked people by their looks, by their like physicality. He attacked them and broke down and tried to help them understand where he was coming from and where they were coming from and meet a middle ground every single time. He was the guy that we were happy because we knew he was out there representing us. And he was doing it better than we can because we would get upset and call someone fat or make fun of their sexuality. And he didn't do that. There might be onesie twosies, maybe, that he said in an eloquent way that you're stupid. But to some extent, now you get this guy. I don't even know who this gentleman is. You get this. Because what's happened is he was literally at the table Come to me. Let's discuss. Come to me. Let's have a discussion. And you fucking killed him. You killed him. And then there's fucking Blue Sky. This guy. This person. Can Erica Kirk be next? Then the 2 children can be placed with foster parents, and we will have them properly educated and growing up hating their parents. That exists. They hate you. If they were given the chance to get up on the roof with the rifle, they would do it too. And we've always been playing defense. We've always been playing backstep. I think you just killed the guy doing this, saying, hold on, guys. Let's talk with them. That was Charlie. That's honestly what Charlie was. Charlie was the guy that was like, guys, that's not the way to do it. Guys, let's find a peaceful solution. Let's discuss it. There was a mob of angry, red-blooded, blue-collar Americans that were like, I can reside in this guy. I can put my faith in this guy. He's a man of God. He's a man of conservatism. He aligns with a lot of what I want for this country. So he was our guy. His passion was discussion. His passion was debate. His passion was that dialogue. I'm not very good at that. A lot of people aren't very good at that. He was the best. So we gave him our money for like t-shirts and stuff to help him on that goal, on that journey to represent us in the nation. Yeah, here's PBD. Very good website, or podcast, website, etc. This is one of the first ones. Yep, on the 10th, on the date. So if I want to go left, yeah. Take Tegan. He was the one betrayed by Hillary Clinton. Him and his team over in Benghazi. When she wouldn't send help when the embassy was attacked on the anniversary of 9/11. Speak of the devil. I can't read every single one of these. This one's a little aggressive, but I saved it. Whoops. Whoops. Sorry. This is on the very far right. Again, I'm not advocating for this, but this is... You killed the guy that was at the gate. He was holding the gate open to that middle ground. He was in this middle fencing, and there's this fence of more left-leaning people that want to have a discussion, per se. And then there was a fence of right people that want to have a discussion, per se. And then there was this like middle fence where there's like you could transfer the cattle from one fencing group to the other. Like a transition thing. And he was in the center there. And he was opening the gate to the left to come into that middle ground and have a discussion. And what's happened is he went to open the gate, and he'd been opening and holding that gate open for so long. And you shot him. And now everybody in that right fence is pissed. And he can't hold them back now. Our faith will do our best to hold us accountable. Our souls But we can't deny this physical reaction in our bodies. Some of us can't. I can't. My body still aches right now. My soul still aches right now after this. I have not been able to sleep well at night. A lot of people have not been able to sleep well. I think I mentioned that. Because we were so... I didn't even meet the guy. I was planning to go to that rally on the 7th when he was going to be here and ask him. Because I think when the Students for Life folks were talking about abortion and rape, and I was just going to calmly ask him, what's your opinion on the death penalty for rapists? That's what I was going to ask Charlie on October 7th. I can't do that now. And I can get an answer from another Turning Point person, or I can get another answer from another individual of the right. But it's not going to have the same grace as Charlie's answer. Because he would probably say something along the lines of, like, there are other ways to do it. Or maybe he would be for it. I don't know. I'd have to go super dive into his stuff. This person right here, their soul, is what we are upset with. Pray didn't help Charlie Kirk, did it? In a sneering way. No, we are praying for you. For what's about to come. I will iterate one more time. I am not advocating for violence. I am not advocating for people to get hurt. But how would you feel if David Hogg was murdered? Huh? How would you feel if the blonde Swedish girl, the global warming girl, was murdered? What about those Karsten short twins that I keep seeing here and there? What if he was murdered? What if Cenk Uygur was murdered, assassinated? Then would you get it? Then would you get what happened? I would not come on here and be like, and you're going to see, I would not be praising that Cenk Uygur died. I would not be praising that David Hogg got murdered or shot. But at this point, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm sorry. Like I said, these thoughts are maybe not the most Christian, but a lot of us are like this. You have no idea who Charlie was and what he meant for the country and the planet, the world. That's my... I've shown this photo. Love this guy, Native Patriot, Washington State. Ironic that Charlie's company is Turning Point. We've reached that turning point. It's our turn not to leave them alone. Yeah, just like that Joker video. Every single time you go to an airport or you go to an old folks' home, they have CNN, they have MSNBC, they have all that crap just on a doom cycle of hate and fear and saying the most horrendous things about people. I was going to have to get to this point eventually. Because I technically don't know what it means, but we're going to look it up together. Crap, I stopped my recording. That's fine. Yeah. Merriam-Webster. What's the definition of a martyr? A person who sacrifices something of great value, and especially life itself, for the sake of the principle. A martyr to the cause of freedom. Similar. A person who voluntarily suffers death as the penalty of witnessing to and refusing to renounce a religion. Yeah. You made a martyr out of Charlie Kirk. You didn't want to do that. You shouldn't have done that. Could he have been as monumental as he's going to be now if you just left him alone and let him speak at a few conferences, speak at a few more colleges here and there? Oh, he helped get Trump in office, and we hate Trump. We are so obsessed with Trump that anybody that has a conversation with him must be killed. So stupid. You guys are so obsessed with Trump more than Trumpers. Oh, he did this. He's going to use this to excel and accelerate his plans. I think he's mourning right now. I think he's mourning. Him and Melania. Him and J.D. Vance and Trump Jr. He wasn't in the back room scheming of like, yes, Charlie Kirk is dead. That means he helped me get into office, and now I can use the National Guard wherever I want. Really? He used the National Guard and is going to use the National Guard in Chicago and D.C. because they were becoming hellholes of death and murder. So stupid. You hear yourself out loud. Sorry, you can't like see it fully. Yeah. In the last 20, 30 years, we, the conservative right, has not murdered anybody that we are opposed to. You think I wanted Kamala Harris? Do you think I like the guy that slept with the Chinese spy? Do you think I like Adam Schiff? Do you think I like... what's the old bags lady's name? Pelosi? Do you think I like those people? No. Do you think I like Biden? No. I didn't want them murdered. I just didn't want them doing that particular job anymore. When I heard that Biden was sick with cancer, I wasn't on social media cheering, oh my gosh, he's going to die soon. Hallelujah. That'll probably be the last clip that I play on this video. Will probably be that. You'll see. And the blood. And calming down. What's happening now, which some people don't want to happen, is that if you make or made a comment that you were happy that a young father, a young husband was murdered, and you're excited about it and happy, now people are using the powers of technology to hunt them down across the internet and get them fired. Have their businesses get 1-star reviews. Did you want that? Did you want your Sunflower Rainbow gay coffee shop to go out of business because they celebrated Charlie Kirk dying? Did you want that? Did you want your friend's book to not sell well on the internet because she partied and danced around her room because Charlie Kirk was assassinated? Did you want that? I don't think you did. I don't think you did. And it's happening now. I think they said there's up to 20,000 people that made fun of Charlie's death and his wife. Like that one gentleman from the good old Blue Sky. Go on Blue Sky to reach more people. Cesspool. Cesspool. Yeah. Exactly. The fealty of talking. It's basically gone. It is. He tried. From 18 to 31, he dedicated his blood, sweat, and tears, literally, to this cause. To talk. To discuss. Now that good man is dead. And you did it. So you brought him on yourself. Yeah, I feel tired. Goes without saying. Yep. There's no way that I can kind of like that for a moment. Yeah. This is a lot of us right here. I'm putting it down here because of the Steam stuff. This is a lot of us right here. This right here. You killed the moderate guy. You killed the kind guy. You killed the compassionate guy. And this is what's been happening. At least since 2016. Ah! We only punch the old man with the red hat and the yellow shirt. Okay, but we don't. But we're not terrorists, are we? No. We just, whenever we get upset, we burn down businesses and destroy livelihoods and threaten to get you fired or killed, even back then. No. I mean, we haven't actually killed any. You just did. You just did. Make no peace with evil. I'm not saying going down and finding a gay pride flag business and burning it down. No! I actually don't want that to happen. But, again, wouldn't be surprised if it did. Wouldn't be surprised if it did. Once again, this is what we get. We try to peacefully discuss. We try to peacefully talk. You guys hate him so much because of some things he's done in the past. Probably there was a thing or two that he did, a thing or two that he did. But not him. He might have beaten you in a mental debate, in a brain power, in discussion. He might have kicked your butt in that way. But he wasn't touching people inappropriately. No allegations. No alcohol, no cigars, no drugs. Hell, I bet he didn't even watch pornography. And apparently every single man on this earth does. I didn't even know him. A lot of the nation didn't get to shake his hand or actually meet him. But a good portion did. And somehow we all, our souls and our hearts and our bodies are still affected by him. I keep thinking it's not real. I keep thinking that he's going to have a video out. He made a video. And it went up about IRNA. about the stabbing on the bus. Like 2 days. I'm going to probably go watch it and cry probably. But he made it 2 days before he was assassinated. He was still doing the fight up until his last breath. Yeah, this lady, I don't know if it was from this lady, because this same phrase has been said a couple times, and I'm going to read it out loud. You are crying and grieving over the loss of Charlie Kirk, and feel a bit odd or silly because you aren't understanding why you feel so devastated. I will tell you why you are crying. Yesterday, we lost an anointed man. David didn't even dare kill Saul because he was God's anointed. You are feeling the spiritual weight of a martyr. It is heavy. It is dark. We are witnessing the evil in our own home country together, and it hurts. You aren't being silly or dramatic. Your spirit is grieved. Yeah. There's a couple other times that people have said similar. This gentleman, I'm sorry, I do follow him on social media. I don't know his name right now, his handle. I might actually go in on it on one of my saved videos because I saved his videos. Yeah. These are the people. You can put any type of hat, hair, wig, nose piercings, fake breasts, real breasts, whatever on this image here. And that is us. He was the middle ground. He was the nice guy. There's a lot of us that still want to do it the nice way. But the guards are up. The armor is on. The defensiveness is apparent. Yep. Yeah, that hit me like a freight train in the therapy session with Scott. This is what happened. I'm going to move my guy up here. This is how it felt. Yeah, 2008. I wasn't even in politics. Yeah, 2008 was the housing market crash, which I was alive for, but... And this isn't me, necessarily, because I wasn't that left. But for this person's perspective, you kept going left. And this person that they're representing were like, my views still haven't changed. I'm okay with same-sex marriage. I'm okay if you want to do your own religion. But you want to keep making it more crazy. You want to keep going that way. And I thought this was the worst of it. I didn't know we'd be down here. Yeah. One of the examples, Rome, Italy. Martyr for freedom. In Italian. Yep, saw that. And this is what's been happening. That's why it's almost like a sign of you're doing the right thing. If you're called a Nazi now, Trump has been called a Nazi so many goddamn times that it's so done. The left can't sleep at night because of their hatred for Trump, that they have to just spew it to the young people and tell the young people a lie. And they have to tell a lie about Charlie Kirk because of what he was able to do. He was able to open young people's minds at the pinnacle of their life and said, pick up a book, pick up a Bible, give it a shot, give it a read. But the left decides to do this. Fuel them with drugs and propaganda. Yeah. Republicans have always been the passive people. Republicans have always been the give ground and then draw a new line. Give ground and then draw a new line. Give ground it. And what happened was there was a line that Charlie Kirk was standing on, holding the mic to other people on the other side. And you shot him, pushed him out of the way, and have stepped deep across the line. And now, the conservatives that had their backs turned, that were just doing their thing, keeping the country running, fixing your electrical, fixing your piping, fixing your roads, turn around, see Charlie's dead, and sees you in front of them, and sees the guy on the ground and said, "You did that? You did that? You killed the guy that was representing me. Okay." The shooter seemed like a good guy. People are saying it was the parents' fault. A lot more people are saying it's college's poisoning. Could be a bit of both. That's not what I'm here to discuss, though. But now they want firing squad because it's still legal in Utah. And other states want it to come back. Other states want the gallows, public hanging. They want them to suffer. Did you want that? Did you want people to suffer like that? Or did you want to let them go to prison to try to better their life? Because I'm kind of on their side, to be honest. That's what's happening. Like I said, these are all just memes and photos and things that it's just a big conglomeration of what I feel like America's going through right now. Then there's this piece of human filth. This is what some people listen to. This schmuck. Kill those motherfuckers. Murder them. Let the soak in capitalist blood. Meanwhile, this guy's a millionaire. He has like 2 homes. And yet he's saying, kill the capitalist. Brother, you are a capitalist. And you just pissed off the guy that's doing your yard work. You pissed off the guy that's maintaining your car. You pissed off the guy that's fixing the electrical for your streaming room. You pissed off the guy that when you take a fat shit, he's going to probably go and help you to declog it. But now you're advocating for this to happen. Who do you think wants to do that? If a conservative, which mostly, I would say, most conservatives do those jobs. If a conservative hears about, even just an inkling about this Hassan Piker guy, and hears that, oh, he's the guy that wanted Charlie Kirk to die, I'm not going to go help him. And then the boss will get this order, and then be like, can somebody go to this guy's house and fix blah, blah, blah? And then they're all going to hear who he is, and be like, no. And then you're going to be like out of power. Or your water's not going to run right. Or The terrible thing that will probably happen to some people, and it's kind of already happening now, is something like that will happen, and then his friend of his friend of his friend, let's say the electrician, is going to give your address out. And then that address is going to get spread to the internet. And then somebody on the far right, or at this point, is going to like egg your house, do the whole dog poo in a bag and light it on fire. Or they're going to make you have car trouble. You see where I'm going with this? Like, this is the type of calling for violence that the First Amendment doesn't necessarily protect against. Because you're calling for action. And you got action. But what happens if they call for action the other way? The not so nice way against you? You gonna be so happy about that? You gonna be cheering? No, guys, don't, please. Let's be civil. Let's be peaceful. Really? Because you weren't civil a couple weeks ago. You weren't civil a couple days after Charlie's death. Why should we be civil now? Because we always are? Because we always step back? We always hold our hand back? It doesn't... You guys don't care until it comes to your front door. That's the closest I'm going to show of the actual footage. And I'm not promoting this guy's fucking handle. I can't even look at it that long. It makes me sick. Same thing again. Someone else saved it. Same thing. Oh, I'm part of the... Okay, I need to go to the next block of... I thought this was a beautiful picture. There's a guy that did a better job because it's an actual full-on big painting. Whoops. But this is beautiful to me. You can kind of see some people stuck out among the crowd. Charlie Kirk. Trump. Glenn Beck, Tucker Carlson. I think this might be Vance, or Vance might be over here somewhere. This is, I think, Matt Walsh and Dinesh D'Souza, I believe, and some other folks. I think that's Candace Owens. I believe that's Candace Owens. All great pioneers of conservatism and trying to take care of this great nation that we live in. So I thought this was a beautiful photo. Beautiful painting, excuse me. Yeah, as of right now, the consensus of this is a gun problem, and Trump is trying to use this for his own personal gain, and like that CNN reporter that was like, oh, this is a fan of his. You're fucking stupid. Doing a good job. Give up your guns at this place and this place and this location. That way we can protect you. Charlie still believed in that. That's the crazy thing. Everybody was so surprised because, like, now, I can't even remember if Trump had bulletproof like glass panels, plastic plexiglass panels before the shooting. Because maybe he was still like the same, like he had the same hopes like Charlie did, where it's like, I hope that I'm thinking of the better of people. Charlie was the same thing. He had security. The most I think he got was a couple people maybe like started to get aggressive, start walking towards him and yelling, and maybe throw a water bottle at him or something. But he still wanted that connection, that like semi-closeness. He wanted to be able to connect with people and talk with people, and not like be a screen, and also not shout back at people. So I think this is a little hyperbolic. I don't think I'll do that. Whoops. I moved the thing on the OBS. Gosh darn it. I think it's like that. I mean, Jesus did die for his sins. I mean, died for his words. Because he didn't sin. He didn't sin. Belay my last. But these guys certainly can be in the same photo. I think Jesus obviously is above them all for a multitude of reasons. So I'm not... This was just somebody, I'm guessing, because Charlie looks like AI. Charlie looks good. This is his wife. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It's not. I'm going to do some things that I'm certainly not going to forget. Lots of people are going to start things. There are people like that woman at the very beginning, that like little text where the back and forth. There are people like that are not Christian ever. Or they were the lukewarm Christians, the milquetoast Christians that just went for Thanksgiving and Easter and Christmas. They're all going tomorrow. It's Saturday right now. It's the 13th. I'm going to put it up today. They're all going tomorrow. And that is powerful. When you get a nation that had Christian conservatives in it, and some of them were very lukewarm, and then there were people that are not even Christian conservatives, but are just like kind of middle of the road, and this person was able to affect them to the point of, I am going to church tomorrow, because that's what he would have wanted. There's a video, I'll try to find it at the very end, one of the very end clips, that that said Charlie wants to be, he said that he wanted to be remembered for, on the iced coffee hour, I think it was, he wanted to be remembered for his faith, for his Christian faith, for his beliefs in God. And that pinnacle, that person was killed. I keep saying it because I keep reiterating it because yeah, Matt Walsh has gotten a little aggressive, I will say. There's one where he's like, remembered to hate again. I don't necessarily hate people. I can't deny that I hate the guy that did it for whatever reason. Some of this is true, though, and what a lot of people think. He has a few documentaries out there, especially him, of like trying to go undercover to like try to figure out what the left is about and transmission people are about. And There's a couple clips and phrases that were captured of his daughter. I'll see if I can find them. One of them was the initial shot. She tried to run to him because she was scared of the noises. She tried to run to Daddy's leg because of the shooting and the loud noises. I'm trying not. The other one is Erica trying to explain to her where Daddy is. Daddy has to go on a business trip with Jesus so that he can afford blueberries for you. I'm trying to be a small portion of what Charlie was. I'm trying to be a small percentage of that. One day I hope to get married and have kids. I'm sure he was going to have a lot more. It's crazy. A lot of social media people, I see a trend going around. And I'm starting to catch on, and I'm like, oh, they're just chasing that trend. Like asking an open-ended question and just trying to get you to click on it, trying to get you to answer. But the one that I've seen, that I've interacted with every single time is, how are you doing? Can you not sleep like I can't sleep? And my soul still aches today as well. I had to get this off my chest. This will probably be one of my longest videos on my channel. My very humble channel. And I don't do this to seek subscribers. If you end up becoming a new subscriber, cool. There will be a time of happiness, and there will be a time of rejoice, and there will be a time of reconstruction, rebuilding. One day I'll get to talk about the fitness journey. Another day I'll get to talk about the cool boots or shoes that I got from the unsub guys to work out in, and they're great. I had those kind of like sitting in the back of my head. So those videos will come out eventually. But right now I'm mourning. My soul is in pain. I've never had this type of reaction, ever. I think I've said a couple times already, I'm only 31, but so is Charlie. So I'm gonna go find the videos, the ad at the end here, and then I'll close it out. Let me hit start recording this time.
I have 30 seconds left to live. I'm dying from a gunshot wound. But what would you actually want to tell me if I have 30 seconds left to live?
In 30 seconds, you're about to meet eternal judgment. And so you got 10 seconds left, you're dying from a gunshot wound. And there's only one way that you can get bailed out of that. And it's not all the good things you did or the moral scorecard. It's whether or not you have Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior. And that's the only thing that's going to matter.
How do you want to be remembered?
If I die?
I want to be remembered for courage for my faith. That would be the most important thing to me.
Here's Officer Tatum. Good friend of Charlie Kirk. He made another video reacting to Tom McDonald's song, which part of it I'm going to play at the end.
I'm very angry because you don't get your lick back.
I'm going to show this as I'm scrolling a little bit. This is the one from South Korea, the memorial for South Korea. These are the guys in Japan. Or is this more Korea? There's Latin America, or Italy. There's Nick Fuentes. This lovely lady, she uses AI to like get an answer. There was one on here that I wanted to show. Let me find it. There's the scum. This lovely human. This guy. This George dude. He's a president of this like society or this Oxford Union. Yeah. And he's happy. He's happy that Charlie's dead. That's cool. There's one in here. There's this one. This was in Vienna. I'm gonna keep trying to get that photo as like a poster to remember them both. Yeah, I get it. Here's that guy that made the art. Sam and Graham 5. Sam Ryan Studio. He's the one that made that beautiful painting. And I believe he's sending it to his family, Charlie's family. So this is cool. Glad he's doing that. Some more lifeless husks celebrating. Office Depot trying to defend their employees not letting, or trying to say that they fired the employees that were not letting folks like print off copies of this like memorial type photo for, oh, another woman happy that Charlie's dead. Look at that. Smiles and happiness. Theo Vaughn.
That makes me sick. That's what it is. I think it's made me feel sick.
A lot of us, buddy. A lot of us. Nick Freitas had a pretty cool word about it. I'm just going to finish it up with... I'm going to finish it up with two videos. It's going to be this one that Donald Trump, the White House, has made in honor of Charlie Kirk. No, I'm going to end with that. I'm going to end with that. First, I'm going to show this. Sorry, guys, I just talked that whole time and you didn't hear me. Long story short, Tom McDonald, you may like him, you may not, writes and had been writing and will keep doing some pretty crazy music videos that a lot of us actually agree with. And he made a song for Charlie Kirk in remembrance of him. And then somebody, maybe him, maybe his friends and team, decided to go to the hells of the internet and pull together some lovely clips of people that are cheering Charlie's death.
Shot down and he was barely 31. Another woke coward took a life with a gun. He left behind a wife and a daughter and a son. All he did was try to speak for all of us. And I'm so tired of the hatred and the narratives. The patriots ain't dangerous. Woke people are the terrorists. They shot and killed the father, sent a message.
No, we're restarting.
Shot down and he was barely 31. Another woke coward took a life with a gun. He left behind a wife and a daughter and a son. All he did was try to speak for all of us. And I'm so tired of the hatred and the narratives. The patriots ain't dangerous. Woke people are the terrorists. They shot and killed the father, sent a message to Americans. They ain't gonna stop until they bury us. Dear Charlie, I don't know if you can see us now, but if heaven has a window, I sure hope you're looking down. Cause we ain't going quiet, we gon' scream your name loud. And you're gone, but I swear to God that we gon' make you proud. We ain't backing off or giving up, I'll preach what you taught me. They may have killed a soldier, but that man had an army. This is far more deep than some political parties. And you can't kill freedom, so this one is for Charlie. This ain't the America that all our parents love, but good man tried to keep making it great. Pray that God will take...
Those are the people that Charlie gave a chance. Those individuals would come up to him and they would speak their piece, aggressively or not, and he would have that debate. And they couldn't win. They couldn't beat him. He was smarter than them. So they killed him. They shot him in front of his kids and his wife. And people are like, oh, be this, be that. We're done. We're tired. Am I going to do anything irrational? No. But I bet you I'm probably going to join up with TPUSA. Probably volunteer there. A lot of Americans are going to do some radical things. Like Nick Freitas has said, like other people have said. That door at the front of the house, at the front of the meeting hall, at the front of the metaphorical discussion grounds that Charlie kept constantly opening and inviting people in. Come sit at the table with me. Etc. He opened the door. You shot him. And now other people in the house, the big beautiful house, heard the shot around the world. Like, this is the shot. And a lot's going to change. People are just going to say, so-and-so wanted this. People didn't want this. You didn't want this. You just didn't know it yet. You didn't want this. You thought you did. You thought this would solve the issue. If we just take out the biggest voice in young people in the conservative world, then we'll be good. Our problems will be answered or solved. But that's not what's going to happen. You're going to try to go into some places to get hired. And whether you like it or not, somehow your social media is going to get found out, or your preferences and other things are going to get found out. And some people were probably understanding a few days ago. They'd be like, oh, this person flies this flag, trans flag, or they fly this gay flag, or they fly the coexist flag. Whatever it is, stickers on their cars, their vehicles. I'll still give them a chance. They need some work. If they're willing to work, I'll give them a chance. I don't think that's going to happen anymore. And I think the boycotting that you tried to do to businesses a while back in 2016, 2017, I think that's going to come hell out of high water the other way. It's going to be, I see that flag. I was already kind of like that. But there was a couple times where I've spent my money in places that had a gay flag in the window because my friends were like getting a coffee. And I was like, I'd get like a muffin. I gave them my business. Now I'm going to protest that with a passion. You're not getting a cent from me anymore. And that's sad. It took a lot to get me to that point. But you killed the middle guy. You killed the guy in the middle. And so, like I said before, this is going to be a long video, I can tell. I'm going to just be dragging clips and clipping them together. But I will be posting another video soon-ish once I get more things rolling. Maybe this will help me get some weight off my chest. And I can write this this essay I'm supposed to write. But I couldn't do it unless I did this first. So thank you guys for watching. I'm going to do a small clip here in a second. At the beginning, and for the end of this, we're going to do the video that the White House did. I hope you guys all have a blessed day. Pray for Charlie. Pray for his family, and pray for our nation. And pray to our Lord Jesus Christ.
Only in America is it possible to say, you know what, I don't like the way the country is going, and to do something about it. Take that risk. Take that leap of faith. Stay involved. Trust God and act obediently. Romans 12:2 verse. That God will use all things for good for those who love him. It's bigger than you. I want you to remember that. It is bigger than you. It's bigger than me. You are here to make somebody else's life better, the pursuit of liberty and freedom. You know what gives me strength? The hundreds of thousands of you that say, Charlie, keep going. 1 Corinthians 5 and 15. So that's all pretty amazing evidence, not just intra-biblical evidence, but extra-biblical evidence that Jesus Christ was a real person. He lived a perfect life. He was crucified, died, and rose on the third day, and he is Lord and God of all.